Hello everyone. Today, Saturday, May 22nd, 1976, is a bright, sunny, and a very wonderful day for East Hanover. It is Bicentennial Day. I am Catherine Froling, Chairwoman of the East Hanover American Revolution Bicentennial Committee, and today we have planned an all-day celebration to honor our nation's 200th anniversary. The Bicentennial Committee includes Constance Spear, Marie Miller, Anthony Palakia, Harold Miller, and John Munther. Through our efforts, East Hanover has been recognized as an official national bicentennial community. We have qualified through the fulfillment of 3 requirements: Heritage, Festival, and Horizon. This committee placed and dedicated 2 bronze plaques at the sites of our earliest schools as our Heritage Project. The Horizon program was a presentation of Town Meeting 76, which recognized the present and the future needs of our community. And today we are completing the 3rd theme, Festival, with an all-day program, commencing with the largest parade East Hanover has ever had and ending with a gala fireworks display. Carl Weiner will be at the camera, and I'll be narrating as the parade marching on Ridgedale Avenue passes our town hall. The crowds are out, and they're straining for the first glimpse of that parade. And here it comes. The bands are playing, and out in front is Kathy DeFinnis, splendid in a Revolutionary Soldier's officer's uniform, carrying the Betsy Ross flag and riding her Morgan horse, Tina. Just look at those flags wave. Isn't that a thrilling experience? Kathy has been riding for 3 years. She's trained Tina for the show ring. They've taken first place awards in county and state events. We're fortunate to have Tina lead our parade, for she is a truly American horse, a Morgan horse. The Morgan was named for its original owner, Justin Morgan. And it's interesting to note that no matter what type horse is bred with a Morgan, the offspring is always a true Morgan. She's passing us now. Absolutely beautiful. Tina and Kathy are both at their best. Coming up now, we have the American Legion, James P. Collins, post number 421. Here comes their float, an absolutely beautiful and meaningful float. 200 years of freedom, lest we forget, honoring our war dead. The Legion has approximately 100 members. The post was formed during 1946. Our present parade chairman, Ed Brunner, is marching in front of the camera now. Ed is the commander of the American Legion. And here come the highlighters, a group of teenage girls from middle school. They are being followed by the middle school band. The band numbers 55 students, ages 11 to 14. And today they're under the direction of Mr. James Rogopoulos. Just listen to that stirring music. Those kids look sharp in their blue and gold uniforms. And here coming into view is our Township Committee. We have Mayor Frederick Knox in the middle. On the far side is Frederick Liebhauser, Vincent Leo, George Tomko, and Adolf Dick. Following the Township Committee is a float by the First Presbyterian Church of Hanover. This church has a distinction of being the mother church of the Presbyterian churches in Morris County. Established in 1718, it is now 258 years old and is being followed by the Presbyterian-sponsored Cub Pack, 128. And coming up now is our own American Revolution Bicentennial float. Constructed and designed by Harold Miller, one of our committee members, and his son Will Miller. It has our American Revolution Bicentennial seal in the center and is flanked on one side by a copy of the Constitution and on the other by a copy of the Declaration of Independence. Various flags our country has used surround the perimeter of the float. Now we have the East Hanover Fire Department, a volunteer group comprised of about 40 men. It will soon celebrate its 50th anniversary. These men are on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Look at that equipment, all polished and shined. The firemen will be assisting us today at Lurker Park. It looks as if they have all the apparatus out today. Passing right now is a 1970 American LaFrance pumper, which delivers 1,000 gallons of water per minute. When there's an emergency or a fire in town, these men just leap into action, and we are especially proud of them. Coming up now is a fire department float with Pappy's Banjo Boys on it. These fellows will be entertaining at Lurker Park from 12 until 1. And here come the firemen. Just look at them, the pride of East Hanover. 40 dedicated men. Carrying the flag is Don Brower. And here's Chief Carmine Matarazzo. Don't they look sharp in their uniforms today? And here comes Hanover First Aid Squad, with some of their little people holding their banner. The squad is comprised of approximately 50 members who serve without pay in 12-hour shifts. This squad answers approximately 475 calls a year. Looks like their little people is throwing out candy. The squad recently celebrated its 20th anniversary, and the float which is coming up now depicts an early hospital. Its title is 1776 Frontier Community Hospital, East Hanover First Aid Squad. I don't know if that saw in the log is one of their surgical instruments. I certainly hope not. Look at the frontiermen on there and that axe. I'm glad I don't need surgery this morning. Here comes some of the squad equipment. It's very comforting to us here in East Hanover to know that this squad is so well trained and well equipped for all emergencies. And here's a unicycle team, Brad and Brian. They are, in fact, 13-year-old Brad Anthony and 15-year-old Brian Davenport, who hail from Livingston, New Jersey. Brad and Brian have been riding for 2 years. They're practically experts. Wherever they ride their bikes, they attract a large crowd. Later, these fine boys with 1976 and 1776 on their backs are going to be performing at Lurker Park. Stay up there, fellas. And here comes Leon Schnipper of New Vernon, driving a fine restoration of a 1927 Bulldog Mack, recently a New Jersey state champion. He's pulling a trailer, Fruhoff, with solid rubber tires, and on it is mounted a 1914 autocar, a little two-cylinder job. This vehicle is a national first prize winner. Mr. Schnipper is a former East Hanover resident. He's engaged in the restoration of vehicles since 1952, and he has several other prize-winning equipment which we weren't able to have in today's parade. Passing now is a National Guard unit, the 2nd Battalion, 113th Infantry, from East Hanover Armory on River Road. They have a number of Jeeps. Some of them are mounted with various machine guns, I believe 50 caliber machine guns, and some 106 recoilless rifles. In time of battle, this infantry combat battalion would support ground troops. Their equipment will be exhibited at Lurker Park today. Be sure to visit their show. We're proud to have them with us. Passing now is the National Guard's Medical Service Ambulance. And coming up decorated in red, white, and blue is a truck from the Temco Company. Temco is a refrigeration and air conditioning company and one of the newer firms in our town. Their building is located on the corner of DeForest Avenue and Ridgedale Avenue, but their services extend throughout the entire state. There's a little pause in the progress of the parade at this time, so it'll give me an opportunity to tell you how very proud I am to have chaired the Bicentennial Committee. We've actually been working since 1971, and today is a culmination of those many years of work. I've been fortunate in having a fine committee to work with me, and I've had the cooperation of the Township Committee and the various service groups in town. Without this cooperation, we couldn't have had today's celebration. Approaching now is a float entitled Our Heritage. This is the East Hanover JCF float. This is a new organization, having been founded only 1 year ago. They're a service organization helping the JCs in community projects. Last year, they helped Santa Claus answer 150 letters from East Hanover's little folks. This is a big job for their 12 members. Their float theme is Indian, with a teepee and a canoe, and a lot of Indians walking alongside. And this is quite appropriate since East Hanover was originally occupied by the Lenni Lenape Indians. Following right along behind is the JC float. The JCs are one of our outstanding service organizations, contributing their time and money to many community needs. They have a big birthday cake. Happy birthday, America, from the JCs. Later today, they will be preparing and serving food and drinks at Lurker Park. This is another of the fine organizations that the Bicentennial Committee is grateful to. Following the JCs, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 10416, also an organization just 1 year old. This group, for their bicentennial project, has undertaken the markings of East Hanover's oldest and most historical homes. with a handsome marker bearing the date of the house origin. About to burst in music is one of our finest musical groups, the Hanover Park Regional High School Golden Hornets Marching Band, under the direction of Mr. Walter Moore. 140 members, all dedicated and enthusiastic. They're the pride of all who hear them and who witness their shows. Just hear that music. The Bicentennial Committee is honored to have this band present. And tonight at Lurker Park, they'll present a concert of all-American music. Just look at those high-stepping girls. Look at the twirlers. Listen to that music. Do you wonder we're proud of these kids? Walking alongside the band in the rear is Assistant Director Andrew Stackhow. And here we have the Girl Scouts with a float entitled, "We've Come a Long Way, Baby." Here are the Brownies, and will you look at those uniforms? We have one at 1912, and they progressed through the years to 1976. Just look at this one coming now, 1919. I guess they have come a long way, baby. Here's Girl Scout Troop 214 and Troop 296. Here we come, the Senior Scouts of 1976 and 1977. Here's the East Hanover Businessmen's Association station wagon, being driven by the association president Paul Albert. Businessmen were organized in 1955 and worked for the betterment of the businessmen's community. Here comes the Hanover Garden Club, 4-H juniors. These children work under the direction of Mrs. Martha Lee Kugel. They have been awarded the National Award for Keep American Beautiful. Their Miracle Garden planted at Lurker Park brought this award, and very recently they planted their second Keep America Beautiful garden at Bernita Drive and Ridgedale Avenue. Their float depicts the Boston Tea Party. Marching right behind the float in colonial uniform is Eric Rothman. Eric's mother's a former Bicentennial Committee member. And here comes Mrs. Kugel, always with her kids in colonial costume and carrying a lantern. I don't know exactly what Martha Lee is looking for today. Passing now is the Suburbanites, another service organization made up of approximately 130 women, organized during 1964. During these 12 years, they've engaged in many charitable endeavors. Monies raised through their efforts is contributed an equal amount to East Hanover and to Hanover Township. Passing now is B'nai B'rith Women, the Akedah chapter, founded 15 years ago. Akedah is a Hebrew word meaning link. These women have had national bicentennial recognition for their Dolls for Democracy program and are privileged to use the bicentennial national logo. Approaching now is the PAL float, the Police Athletic League. Their theme is, as it was in the past, youth is our future. The PAL sponsors many programs for our youth, including a co-ed night at the school, various other activities, and the Pee Wee Football League for boys and girls. The league is made up of youngsters between 9 and 13. It's being led by a Keystone Cop. Look at those trophies that these youngsters have won. Their spirit of achievement is displayed on that truck. Aren't they wonderful? Oh, I recognize these local gals, don't they just look elegant? Coming into view now is Kitchell Memorial Presbyterian Church float. Their float highlights Presbyterian heritage and Presbyterian contribution to the American scene. The banners are symbolic of the theological creeds and statements from the Book of Confession. In the pulpit is John Witherspoon. John looks remarkably like our own pastor, the Reverend Harold Johnson. Harold's trying to tell me something. John Witherspoon was the only clergyman to sign the Declaration of Independence. Passing now is the Imperial Guardsmen, Junior Drum and Bugle Corps of Livingston. Just listen to that stirring music. Approaching now is the East Hanover Free Public Library float. They salute our country's 200th birthday with a two-sided fireplace. Looks amazingly like Connie Spear sitting there in her colonial costume reading to a young fellow. They have a two-sided fireplace, colonial on this side, and as it passes, modern on the other side. They honor our most cherished privilege, the right to read. Here's the East Hanover PTA float, an old-fashioned school. School days, just look at those kids. There's Board of Education member Lois Sullivan waving to the crowds. Here comes Pack 20 Cub Scouts with a covered wagon. They just recently celebrated their 25th anniversary. Pack 20's motto is always on the go. And these kids have really been always on the go. They've been to the World's Fair, West Point, Hacklebarney State Park for a winter encampment, and presently they're looking forward to a boat trip around Manhattan. They donate their time and their efforts, these little fellows, to make East Hanover a cleaner and a more beautiful town. Look at those little colonial soldiers. There's even blood on their bandages. Coming into view now is the Rotary Club of the Hanovers. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. The Rotary Club of the Hanovers is a service organization. They give their support to Camp Mary Hart for disabled children, and they also provide a scholarship for local high school graduates. Most of their monies are raised through a spaghetti dinner, generally held in Whippany, and an event looked forward to by us all. They seem to be distributing candy too. Oh, look at that float, the Spirit of 76. That tall fellow in the center looks remarkably like Whippany's brilliant young lawyer, Bobby Gallinson. And the fife player, he has to be Corky Turner, a local businessman. The little fellow on the other side is Fred Donatelli's son, Freddie Jr. Little Shelley Dickinson, daughter of Bill Dickinson of the Journal News, I believe, is throwing candy. Shelley looks adorable in her blue and white checked outfit. Looks like the Spirit of 76 is eating candy too. They're being followed immediately by the Morris County Militia, Ancient Fife and Drum Corps. This fine unit, with their costumes of red and gold, their powdered wigs, and their tri-quartered hats, was organized in 1969 in Chatham, New Jersey, and named after the original Morris County Militia, a group from the Revolutionary period. Their purpose is to perpetuate and preserve the traditional marching music for fife and drums, which has been passed along from both the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. They've been invited to perform in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and Williamsburg, Virginia. They've been first prize winners during 1972, 1973, and 1974. They serve as one of the finest examples of pride, patriotism, and purpose. Just listen to them and look at those uniforms. They're being followed now by Boy Scout Troop 128, comprised of approximately 20 boys. These boys will be helping us at Lurker Park today, and they engage in many community activities. And look at this old postal truck. A 1929 Model A parcel post and collection mail truck being driven by Ernie Vanacore. Ernie was our first postman out of Hanover Post Office, and next week he'll retire after 27 years. This truck was obtained through the efforts of our postmaster, Anthony Perlecchia. Tony's a member of our Bicentennial Committee, and I'm very grateful to him for all the help he's given us. This Model A parcel post and collection truck is just used for parade purposes. Here comes the Motor Corps Salam Temple, the Shriners. The Shriners are well known and loved throughout the country. Probably most people know them best for their maintenance of 19 orthopedic hospitals and 3 burn hospitals. All children from infancy through 15 years of age are admitted to these hospitals with never a charge to either the patient or his parent. Their organization is based on the fantasy of the Middle East and the ancient Arabic order of nobles of the mystic shrine. These fellows come from the Salam Temple, built in 1965 in Livingston, with a membership of over 6,500. Just look at these cute little buggies. Aren't the Shriners handsome in their red fezzes? We can hear the strains now of a junior drum and bugle corps, the Royals of Eatontown, New Jersey. This junior drum and bugle corps is composed of 90 boys and girls between the ages of 10 and 21. In their splendid black and gold uniforms, they have performed before more than 3 million people in the eastern United States. I'm told they've won over 300 trophies, awards, and citations. This is a very remarkable feat for a group formed only 8 years ago. Just listen to that stirring drum music. Isn't their color guard beautiful? And those young ladies twirling those guns. Everybody's giving a big hand for the Royals of Eatontown. Following the Royals of Eatontown is the Rangerettes of East Hanover. These little girls are 5 and 6 years old. They are called the Superstars. And they've been under the instruction of Mrs. Gloria Schauger. The Rangerettes in their red cowboy hats have performed in many parades for several years. They are girls, ages 9 and 10. They participated at Florham Park, Chester, Bud Lake, and East Hanover parades. Look at these little tykes in their navy shorts, furry little pillboxes, the Superstars. Mrs. Schauger's keeping a close eye on her girls. Coming up now is the Knights of Columbus. They're being led by the 4th degree color guard of St. Isaac Joe's province out of Morristown. The Knights of Columbus is one of East Hanover's newer fraternal organizations, being commenced during 1973 at St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church. Their purpose is fraternity, unity, charity, and patriotism. Our local Knights number 103 members. As a bicentennial gift to our town, these Knights designed and built and dedicated a beautiful bandstand at Lurker Park, which we will be using today for our concerts and speeches. There is Joel Arena, the Grand Knight, leading his group. At their recent convention at Atlantic City, the Knights submitted the bandstand project, and in competition with 250 other councils, won the award of the most outstanding community project in the state of New Jersey. They have entered their project in the national contest in Connecticut. And they're being followed by the Squires, the youth group of the Knights of Columbus. Everyone's giving a hand for these fine men. Here comes St. Rose of Lima Catholic School float. One nation under God, where all can be free. The float has a priest, a rabbi, 2 nuns, and a monk. And they're surrounded by children dressed in costumes of different nations. These youngsters are in grades 5 through 8 at St. Rose of Lima School. The principal is Sister Patricia Mahoney, and they have an enrollment of 150 students. These youngsters contributed many entries to our Bicentennial Art Contest during February. Coming into view now is the Garden Statesman Senior Drum and Bugle Corps of Kenville, New Jersey, sponsored by the VFW Post 2833 of Kenville and the American Legion Post number 27 of Dover. They look quite splendid in their red, white, and blue uniforms. This unit has won the American Legion State Parade Championship for 4 consecutive years at Wildwood, New Jersey. Just listen to those drums roll. The Garden Statesman, Senior Drum and Bugle Corps of Kenville. Followed by our little league, the pride and joy of East Hanover. The Orioles, the Tigers, the Pirates, the Indians. And here we have the Model A Ford Car Club, the New Jersey chapter of Model A Ford cars. Just look at the different types of vehicles. This club has over 200 members with a prime goal of promoting the preservation of the Model A Ford. Listen to that. Look at that sharp station wagon. And a Roadster. Model A's were only made between 1928 and 1931. There goes Bob Weiner, a local resident, who's responsible for the club being with us today. And as these Model A's pass, it brings to a climax our Bicentennial Parade, a colorful musical event paying tribute to the nation's birthday celebration. Tomorrow, today's events will be but a memory to some, but to the Bicentennial Committee, that parade and the events to follow today will be long remembered. They will be cherished as our contribution to our town and to our country. May it always be one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm Catherine Froling, and I'm saying thank you to all the wonderful people who made today possible. It's truly great to live in this country, to live in East Hanover, and to be an American. May God bless us always.